I never want it to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have. I can also be having the greatest time and simultaneously wishing people would stop sending me death threats. But it's hard. And it's lonely. It's very lonely. I just know that if that loneliness can exist, so can other things, and I will be okay.
Whoa, this is not the fairy tale ending Disney had in mind. Rachel Zegler, once poised to be Disney's next live-action princess, has just hit a major career iceberg. And yes, it's all tied to the disaster that is the 2025 Snow White remake. But what really happened behind the scenes? Why did Disney allegedly fire their leading lady? And what led to Rachel's emotional breakdown that's making headlines across Hollywood? Grab your popcorn, folks, because today we're diving deep into the downfall of Disney's Snow White reboot, the backlash, the bombshells, and the bizarre spiral of Rachel Zegler. This is one ride you don't want to miss. Let's go. Let's go back to where it all began. Rachel Zegler was a total unknown just a few years ago, a theater kid from New Jersey posting show tunes on YouTube. No agent, no Hollywood connections, just raw talent. And then she lands the lead role of Maria in Steven Spielberg's West Side Story. Out of 30,000 applicants, overnight Rachel becomes a breakout star. She wins a Golden Globe, signs with major agencies, lands roles in big-budget films. She becomes the golden child of the industry. A Disney dream come true. Then the announcement drops. She's been cast as Snow White in Disney's 2025 live-action remake. The internet erupts. Some fans are thrilled, others skeptical. But regardless of opinion, all eyes are on her. Then came the interviews. Rachel Zegler hit the promo circuit and she had a lot to say about her role as Snow White. Maybe too much. She called the original 1937 animated film weird, said the prince was a stalker, declared that in her version there would be no love story. Her Snow White wasn't a damsel, she was a leader. Her delivery came off as dismissive, sarcastic. She wasn't just updating the role, she was throwing shade at the original. And that's where the trouble started. Fans felt like she was mocking a classic. Critics called her tone arrogant. Even casual Disney lovers began questioning whether she even liked the movie she was starring in. And Rachel? She didn't back down. She doubled down. The backlash hit fast. Commentary channels, reaction TikToks, and conservative media jumped on it. Clips of her quotes spread like wildfire, often stripped of context, but it didn't matter. The narrative was locked in. Rachel Zegler hates Snow White. The story stopped being about the movie and became about her. Was she being ungrateful? Was she biting the hand that fed her? Or was she just being real in an industry that punishes authenticity? Even former Disney stars started quietly shading her. Some unfollowed. Some posted cryptic subtweets. Rachel was no longer a rising star. She was now a symbol, depending on who you asked, of either woke Hollywood arrogance or a young woman caught in the crosshairs of culture war commentary. Meanwhile, the film itself was not helping. Snow White 2025 had all the makings of a disaster even before it hit theaters. Leaked set photos showed awkward-looking stand-ins for the Seven Dwarfs. Rumors swirled about endless reshoots, clashing creatives, and a ballooning budget. When the first trailer dropped, fan reaction was lukewarm at best. Critics called it visually bland and overly self-serious. The charm? Gone. The magic? Missing. The optimism Disney banked on? Replaced with eye rolls and downvotes. Suddenly, Snow White wasn't just an iffy remake. It was shaping up to be Disney's biggest flop in years. And Rachel was now at the center of a marketing campaign in flames. Then came the emotional collapse. In early 2025, Rachel took to Instagram Live after yet another round of online backlash and negative press. She looked tired, frustrated. She broke down midstream. She spoke about the intense pressure, the grueling hours, wearing heavy costumes 16 hours a day, putting her heart into a film only to be ripped apart online. But it didn't stop there. She criticized those attacking her online, suggested her critics didn't understand the vision, and even implied that if people didn't like her performance, they just weren't ready for change. She then pivoted into calling for actors to be paid per Disney Plus view, a statement that, while emotionally charged, came off as naive and out of touch with industry norms. What she intended as a vulnerable moment only added fuel to the fire. Shortly after the emotional livestream, reports began leaking from inside Disney. Rachel had allegedly been dropped from future projects. A supporting voice role in Toy Story 5? Gone. A rumored lead in Pirates of the Caribbean reboot? Pulled. Suddenly, her name was quietly disappearing from Disney's future plans. Publicly, Disney said nothing. but insiders whispered that executives, including Bob Iger himself, were furious about the negative attention, that the brand had taken too many PR hits already, and that Rachel's defiant attitude had become a liability. To put it bluntly, Disney wanted out, so what now? Some say Rachel just needs to lay low, let the dust settle, take an indie role, rebuild her reputation, and prove she's more than this one messy chapter. Others believe this controversy has done permanent damage, that she'll be remembered not for her talent, but for what went wrong. There's no doubt she's incredibly talented. But in today's media landscape, talent isn't always enough. Public perception, fair or not, can make or break a career. And Rachel Zegler, once the face of Disney's future, is now a Hollywood question mark. By now, the damage was done. Rachel Zegler had gone from being Disney's fresh new face to a cautionary tale whispered behind closed doors. But here's the thing, this wasn't just about Rachel anymore. This was about brand identity, about Disney losing control of its most valuable resource, nostalgia. Snow White wasn't just any IP, this was the film that launched Disney Animation in 1937. It was the foundation of the empire, the movie that Walt Disney himself bet everything on. So when the public rejected this new version, and when the lead actress herself seemed to reject the very soul of the original, fans didn't just get annoyed, they felt betrayed. Merchandise was shelved, theme park plans were delayed, licensing deals quietly fizzled. Online, longtime Disney adults began openly saying what was once unthinkable. Maybe not every classic needs a remake. Snow White 2025 wasn't just struggling to live up to expectations, it was exposing a deeper truth. You can modernize a story, you can recast it, you can even challenge its old-fashioned ideas. But if you don't respect its heart, the audience will notice, and they will push back. In the aftermath of the Snow White backlash, Disney now finds itself at a crossroads. For over a decade, the live-action remake machine has been one of the studio's most bankable formulas. Take a beloved animated classic, inject A-list talent, add CGI and modern themes, and, at least on paper, it's a guaranteed box office win. But the cracks have started to show. Mulan underwhelmed. The Little Mermaid sparked debate but didn't break records. The Lion King made money, sure, but audiences called it lifeless. And now, with Snow White, Disney isn't just facing another dud, it's staring down the barrel of a cultural rejection. Behind closed doors, insiders say the confidence is shaken. Executives who once championed the remake strategy are suddenly more cautious. Marketing teams are scrambling to rework future promo plans. Scripts are being reevaluated. There's a growing fear that the studio may have pushed too hard, too fast, and too far from the heart of what made these stories resonate in the first place. Audiences aren't just rejecting these films because they're remakes. They're rejecting them because they feel hollow, overproduced, disconnected. Nostalgia is powerful, but only when it's handled with care. And right now, Disney is learning painfully that reimagining a classic doesn't mean rewriting its soul. As future remakes like Moana, Hercules, and Lilo and Stitch line up on the release calendar, the stakes couldn't be higher. The company can't afford another public relations disaster. Not with streaming subscriptions plateauing, box office expectations rising, and brand loyalty being tested with every trailer drop. For the first time in years, the once infallible remake engine is sputtering. And Snow White 2025 might be remembered not just as a flop, but as the moment the magic started to wear off. Anyway, this concludes today's video. Be sure to subscribe to LoafTube for future celebrity videos, and turn on that post notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. Until then, see you in the next one.